Hi everyone, welcome to Bull and Bear. I hope you're enjoying our videos. If not, please give us some feedback in the comment section. We would always love to hear from our viewers. I hope you're making money. If not, I'm sure you will make money by watching our videos. It takes time because currently we are talking mainly about mutual funds, and later on we will talk about stock equity as well, where the returns, the investment can show the results much faster. But in mutual fund it takes time. But I am sure you will become rich and you will grow your money. But always remember about happy investing. What is happy investing? Whatever money you make from your investments, please put some part of it or give away some part of it for some good noble cause to make this world a better place to live for everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about very special mutual fund, and it has a special taste. Actually, when you look at this picture, I am sure you must be wondering what does it mean? Why I have kept this picture? Actually, it is really to show that this particular mutual fund has a special taste. The older it gets, the better it becomes, and it is really special mutual fund. We are gonna talk about Quant Mid Cap Fund. So actually, before we start, let's understand what is mid cap means. There are three kinds, or actually four kinds of mutual funds in terms of the market capitalization. One is large, second is mid cap, third is small cap, and now there is also micro cap. So large is the companies where turnover, the market values above 20,000 crores of rupees. Mid is between 5 to 5,000 to 20,000 crores of rupees of market capitalization. 5 crore below up to, let's say, few crores is small cap, and the micro cap is the companies which are even smaller. So let's see why we are talking about this particular mid cap mutual fund today. I have done a lot of research analysis, and I think this is one of the best mid cap mutual funds in Bharat. And let's look at it. So this particular first picture is showing the overall returns from the beginning of this particular mutual fund. And you can see in the beginning, it is not growing much, and it was mainly due to multiple reasons. The COVID period was there, and also the economy was not performing, the investments were not happening, the companies were not growing, and there were multiple reasons. But if you see the highlighted part in yellow, that shows exactly the growth what has happened in recent times. The inflow of money has happened, companies have started to grow, business sentiment is back, and Bharat as a country has started to show its real influence in the world economy, and it is growing as well, and it will grow further as well. Now let's look at a little bit more details. So now I'm showing you last 5 years of returns for Quant mid cap, and I have divided this into three parts: 1, 2 and 3. So one is mainly flat. As I said, I just explained you, these are the years when you can relate that to COVID. Nothing was happening, companies was not growing, there was not much business, people were inside home, nothing was really much happening. Two, it started to grow just after COVID. The company started to back in operation. I mean, the world have started to become normal. And number three is when the growth has started. And I would say the last 1 year specifically is the growth story for India, and it will continue for next 5 years at least. It can grow even for next 10 years, but I can tell from my analysis that for next 5 years it is for Bharat, it is for India, and it is gonna continue to grow further. Let's look at a bit more details. Let's analyze only last 3 years, which is very similar as compared to the past, the two pictures which I have just showed. So also for last 3 years, if you see, again the main growth has happened in the last 1.5 year, and that is clearly visible here when you see this. Let's deep dive. So let's last 1 year, actually that is the main critical part, and that is where actually a lot of people who were waiting for the returns to happen has really made an impact. And you can see this is phenomenal. I think you will not be surprised. I'm sure you are watching news, or you must be reading newspaper, or you must be hearing from your friends and colleagues and family that Bharat has become very strong player in world economy. Our economy used to be at number 10. It is currently at 5, and we are going to come at number 3 very soon. In terms of the size of Indian economy, actually it will become $5 trillion economy very soon. I personally feel it would happen very soon, and we are on the right growth trend. And you can see similarly that this Quant mid cap fund is growing continuously, and it will gonna continue further. The other reason for this is the mid-size companies wants to move towards the large size companies, and the large size companies wants to become to giants. The number of billionaires in India, the number of millionaires in India are growing, and I hope you may also become one of the millionaires or billionaires in India. Let's continue. So, it's not only quant which gives us the idea how the market is performing, but let's do some comparison. So in this picture, I have showed you 3 different mid-size mutual funds. One is Mahindra Manulife, second is Nippon, and third is Quant. And you can see with your own eyes that how Quant is performing. So the yellow line is for Quant, and you can see it has been beating all others continuously, and the return of Quant mid cap is much higher as compared to others. Let's look at the last 1 year. The number of returns, the percentage in which Quant is doing is almost highest in mid-size segment, which is around 62.4. The others are below. I have done multiple comparisons, but if you see this one, Quant is doing very well. Actually, there was a time in the beginning of last year, let's say, when the others were performing slightly better, but again, because of the historical trends, because of the fund managers' expertise, they were able to grow further, and now they swing back, and you can see this highlighted part where Quant has again became number 1. And again, I have shown this in comparison of 1 year as well. And now in this 1 year comparison, you can definitely see the performance is really good. And I think, it is telling the story by itself that definitely Quant mid cap is a good investment. Now let's look comparison to how the category average, how the BSE 150 mid cap companies are performing. And here also, if you see, Quant is doing very well because the fund managers are beating all other trends, and the way they are investing your money, the way they are investing the funds is definitely amazing, and they're doing a good job here as well. Now let's explore where the money is invested. So when we talk about any mutual fund, whichever category it is, it does not mean that all the money is invested only in one type of companies, because as per the guidelines, they have to diversify to avoid the risk factor. So here also, if you will see, the majority of the money is invested in mid-sized companies, and that is why it is called mid-cap, but also some part of the corpus, some part or some amount is also invested in large cap companies and also giant companies, and that is what it has been shown. It is also showing the number of stocks. Currently there are 38 stocks, there are 38 companies where the money is kept, and the best thing is the top 10 stocks are actually the major ones, which contribute about 57% of this corpus, which is very important because these 10 companies, their performance is going to determine the performance of this mutual fund. Now let's look at some of the holdings, and that is where the difference happens. So let's talk about any other comparison, whether it's Nippon, whether it's Kotak, whether it's Manulife. So the holdings in each of them impacts the performance of it. So Quant has invested in this 38 stocks, maybe Nippon has invested in 50, maybe someone else has invested in 100, and how these companies perform determines the performance of your mutual fund, of this mutual fund. And look at the companies which are inside this. So the companies inside this are really amazing. I have highlighted some of the companies. You can see the names like Reliance, Aurobindo, Lind, Punjab National Bank, Heavy Electricals, Poonawalla, Adani Power. These are the companies which are really performing well. They have really amazing results in terms of their financials. Look at their growth story. They are not only growing in India within Bharat but also outside. They have been making name for India all over the world. Adani, Reliance are acquiring a lot of companies worldwide. And look at the percentage. Actually, that is again, I always say, look at where your money is invested, in which companies and how much is the percentage. So if you see in this one, Reliance have 10% of Quant mid cap investment, which is really good because the performance of Reliance is very consistent, and if your money is invested in a company which is going to perform, you have more confidence. And the major part of this particular mutual fund is invested in Reliance, so you are in safe hands, I can say that. And likewise, if you see other companies, they're very consistent, they're very stable, and they're growing at a very good pace. Now let's look at, on a high level, what are the sectors. So that is equally important because you don't want to, end up in a sector which is not growing, and maybe you feel that that particular sector may be not a good choice. Like for example, defense is a very hot sector nowadays. I am sure the companies which are part of defense will grow further in India and worldwide. Railways, like that is another sector, like transportation, which is going to grow further in India, at least if not worldwide. So similarly, let's look at Quant mid cap. What are the sectors where the money is invested? And you will not be surprised to know that the majority of the part is invested in energy. So in my other videos also, I have mentioned to you the companies which are related to energy and where the money has been invested. Usually these companies are performing very good. So, Adani Power is there, Suzlon Energy is there. There are many other companies in the energy space, and they're all doing very well because of the huge demand for energy, and there are different sources of energy which are available, and we are all talking about clean energy here. Healthcare and financial are again very, very important sectors. Healthcare, the population around the world is growing. There is a huge demand for medicines. During COVID, how important it became. The worldwide, the medical infrastructure was not prepared. So that's why healthcare stocks are performing very good. Likewise, financial companies are doing very well. So these are the sectors where Quant has decided to keep their money, and these all sectors are performing well. Now let's look at some of the rankings, because that is important, because there are different websites, there are different apps which give their own ranking. But I personally feel the most important criteria for any ranking is the returns they give. Yes, there is always a risk when you invest in mutual funds, and I would again like to emphasize that please do your own homework. Please do your own analysis. Please do your own due diligence before you invest any money in any kind of financial instruments, including mutual funds, because it carries risk, but it also gives return. So you have to make your own decision. But definitely, I personally feel the returns are very important when we do any rankings. And if you see Quant Midcap, it is really doing very good. If you see this particular photo, you will be able to see. But again, if you have any feedback, please share in the comment section if what you feel about this particular mutual fund, or if you have invested in this or any other mid cap fund. Please share your views so that we can look at it, other viewers can read, and they can learn from each other. Let's continue forward. So let's do some more peer comparison, what other stocks are performing. And again, if you see, the rating is 5 stars for Quant. There are other 5 stars also for other mutual funds. But again, as I said, for me, I really want to make sure that the return is good, and mainly the return is the important criteria for my personal evaluation. And let's look here. For the last 1 year, Quant is unbeatable in this category, and it is one of the highest return mutual funds in mid cap. Again, I always say one other important thing when we look at any mutual fund: who is managing your money? Who are the fund managers? Because these are the people who take control of your money. They are the ones who decide where to invest, how to invest, when to invest. So you don't want your money to end up with someone who does not know, and they may get it down. So that is very important. But so far these fund managers play an important role, and the fund managers in Quant, especially Sanjeev Sharma, Vasav Sahgal, Ankit Pandey, are very good, including Chandramouli Ala. They are all very experienced. They all come from a good background. I am going to make another video about top fund managers in India, specifically for each category. But so far, I can tell you these fund managers are good, and they have been good and consistent in terms of getting the right market insight and putting the money in the right sectors, in the right type of companies. Before we finish the video, I would like to show one another thing. What is important as well is the expense ratio. So the money which the fund managers spend on the daily expenses, on other things to manage this particular fund, sometimes it is important. It is basically decided in terms of the total corpus value, and then the expenses which are incurred. So it is closely about 0.71% for this. And the good thing about this particular mid cap mutual fund is the exit load is only 0.50 after 3 months. So you have to invest for minimum of 3 months when you put your money in. Thereafter, you can withdraw your money, you can cancel, and you can redeem without any exit load. But within 3 months, it's 0.50. So again, thank you so much for watching this particular episode. Again, I wish you good luck, and please remember about happy investing. Help someone the way you feel, whatever makes you happy as well. But again, I am sure, you will grow your money. Good luck and prosperity will come to you. Thank you so much.